Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Rhobin podcast. This is podcast number 6. We have one finished objects of few works in progress that I just have some updates on, and a few other details I want to discuss about. So if this is something you're interested in, I hope you enjoy this podcast. Before we start the episode, I do want to talk about one of the sweaters. It's the Hepatica sweater that I test knit almost a month ago now. It is this one. It's this tri-piece sweater. This is the one I did putting all of my sock minis, the leftovers, and whatever minis I had. I put them together to make this. I'll insert a picture of me wearing this. Just want to let you know it's out in the wild now. It is released, so if you are interested in making this project, you can always go to the link I put over here. I put the link in the description below. It's on Ravelry now, so you can go purchase the pattern and start making one for yourself. Like I said, I used minis, so I used a lot of scrap yarns, not even stash yarns. You need one main color and then you can always use other colors. You'll see a lot of other projects that used fewer than 4 colors, and the color palettes are lovely, so you would enjoy looking at it. So this is the Hepatica sweater. To be honest, I haven't woven in the ends yet because I'm still trying to decide between going back and increasing the length, at least of the sleeves, and I'm still thinking of whether to leave the body length as it is or not. It's a tad cropped, but I've been wearing it over skirts and dresses and I feel it's perfect for that, but I'm still thinking about it. So I've woven in the ends of all the stripes, but I haven't woven in the end of the final, the bottom. I've just woven it into a couple of stitches and I tuck it into my skirt every time I wear it, but that's a decision yet to be made. Today seems to be a lot of flashbacks, so before I talk about my finished object again, I want to talk about one of the sweaters. This is the Un sweater that I had finished last episode. I was talking about how I couldn't decide between the buttons and the embroidery, so I went for the buttons, and this is how it's looking. This is how the buttons are looking right now. I put it on both sides. I'm sorry, this is a little difficult to hold up. Yeah, put it on both sides, and I'll anyway put a picture of me wearing it so you'll see how the buttons are, how they are situated, and if this is a modification you want to do, I'll also insert the link of the tutorial I used to make the button band for this. But this sweater has been getting a lot of use. I've already worn it a few times, I would say 3 times to the same place. This is one of my comfiest sweaters. I like it. I like that it's roomy but not too roomy, and I just like how it fits on me. So I really like that sweater. Okay, I'll talk about this project. This is my completed project for this episode. This project was really nice. This is my first color work project and I enjoyed working on this. The pattern itself was not too complicated. It was very simple. It's just one chart to follow. It's very memorizable, and after a while you don't really have to look at the chart. There's just one set of increase between the first 3, so there's a whole row of 6, and there is one row of increase in the main color in between the first 3 and the next 3. That's the only place where I had to concentrate, but after I did that, the pattern was very memorizable. You knew what was coming next, and so I didn't have to really think much about looking at the pattern all the time. But after the color work got over, I kind of got bored because the whole excitement about this sweater was the color work for me. But then I did want to cast on another project, and so I went at it. I kept going back, picking this project, and I finished it, because otherwise I don't think I would have finished it. But then this pattern is really nice. If you are a beginner knitter and you want to try color work, this is really nice. It also does not have too many long flows except in two sections of each of the flower repeats. It's good to it's just good to learn how to tether your flowers in those rows, and the pattern is otherwise very, very simple, very well written, and easy to follow. So the pattern is by the Petite Knitter. I don't know if I mentioned that, and it's called the Spring Fling Sweater. I picked the colors very, very close to what the pattern called for. She uses, I think it's like a cream and pink, so I went for similar colors, though the shades are not exactly the same. I also didn't use the same yarns. The yarns I used for the contrast color is Inram, I think it says lamb too. So it's got silk and merino wool, and I held it along with Knit Picks palette, the colorway oyster, and that is Highland wool. The main color is again Inram, the same line of yarn. It's just this color. The colors don't have names, and I held it with Knit Picks Bouquet Heather, and they were a very, very close match. It wasn't too complicated to knit it. I enjoyed it. I also like, if you look at this in particular, there is a very light yellow, because it's heather. The yellow and the green come from the Knit Picks. It's lightly heather. I'll see if I can put pictures of it on close-up so you can see it. So this was a very, very enjoyable knit. Now, one thing I regret not doing in this, because I've always done it in all my other sweaters except the Un sweater, because that was already oversized. Every time it came to the underarms, I would add extra stitches than what stitches were called for, because I know that I have bulkier arms, and so I want a little loose fitting sleeve, and I did not do that in this. Now when I think of it, I don't know why I did not do that in this, because I tried to follow the sweater pattern to the pattern. I tried to stick very, very true to it, because this was my first colorwork sweater and I was really worried about how it would go. But this is something that I could have easily done, and I regret not doing it. It's a tad tight on the sleeve, and I don't know if I block it again, and if I aggressively block this, I don't know if it'll open up a little, but that's one of my regrets. The second one is not adding short rows to the neck. I've generally felt that for my body shape, I actually need an extra set of short rows, and so I've started doing the math to see if I can add an extra set of short rows in all the projects that I work, so that the neck sits comfortably. For this pattern, it did not have short rows at all. And again, since this was my first color work, I was really, really worried, but I went back and looked at the pattern, and I knew, now I know that I could have probably put short rows in a few places, and I'll do that for the next time. But for now, I think I'll have to just live with this, because it isn't choking me, but I feel the collar comes up really high. If you look at it, it comes up really high, and that is bothering me a little, because I feel like I keep tugging on the hem of the sweater every time, just so it does not touch my neck. While it does not feel like it's choking, I just feel like it comes up, and it's a little uncomfortable. So this is something I may have to get used to. I'm also seeing if I can detach the collar and add some short rows to the back, and see if I can lift it a little so that this is comfortable, but I don't think I'll be doing that anytime soon. I've just got it off the needles. I want to enjoy it. I want to wear it at least a couple of times before thinking of making any surgeries that could probably change the sweater forever. So this is what it looks like now. I'm gonna keep it this way. I just want to talk a little about the cost. So the cost for this sweater was just the pattern and then the yarn. I did not add any buttons like I did for the Oon sweater, so there were no additional costs. Now the pattern cost $13. The in-room yarn, I used only half of the hank. The in-room yarns, they come in 800. I know they have close to 800 meters, so they come in 200 grams. And they're actually two hanks that are rolled together. So I had to unwind it, remove one hank from the other, and then you can wind each hank by itself, but it's two hanks that are actually twisted together. So for the contrast color, I used only half of the first hank, and so I just took that into consideration, and that was about $16. For the main color, the in-room, I used one whole hank, which was again close to 800 yards. So I used the whole hank, and that was $38. The Knit Picks Bouquet Heather, that is the main color, I used about 4 balls of the Bouquet Heather, and I got each of them for about $4.99. And this came to 23.7 Canadian dollars. And then the Knit Picks Oyster Heather is $6.77, and this was about 1 ball of the Oyster Heather. All of this is in Canadian dollars, so the sweater totally, including the pattern, which is 13 bucks, it cost about 97.47 Canadian dollars. Would I have paid that much to buy it in a store? I don't think so, but I feel this is of some value. This is of more value because I made it, but I don't think I'll spend this much to buy something like this in a store for sure. Especially with the color work. Now that I see it, and then I was looking at all the other color works that just the Petite Knitter has on her site, and I feel like she has some very, very intricate color works I want to try. And if the color work was that intricate in a store sweater, I may have probably bought it, but not this. This is a very simple color work, and I wouldn't have paid that much to purchase this. So this is the Spring Fling sweater. The next one I actually wanted to talk about is my work in progress. This is my Felix cardigan. Well, it's not mine because I'm making this for somebody who asked me to make it for them. I'm sorry about the clinking of the needles. I'll try to separate them. So this is where we were the first time I showed this, which was the last episode. And after I finished this is when I started working on this. So I have come to a point where I think I need about 4 more rows before I separate for the sleeves. I'm using Knit Picks Wool of the Andes Rabbit Heather for this. It is a very, very quick knit. I'm knitting it on 6 millimeter needles, and so it has been going pretty fast, and I think I may finish it by the next time we speak. I have asked the wearer, the recipient of this sweater, to give a similar cardigan or a sweater that she likes, because her hands are really long. She's a pretty tall person, and so I want to make sure the sweater fits her correctly the way she would like it. And so I've asked her to give it to me, so if I get it probably this Sunday, I would then start working on it quicker so I can finish it. One modification or one additional thing I want to add to that cardigan is the button bands are not here yet, but once the button bands are here, I want to add a small embroidery, a very, very tiny intricate embroidery along the sides of the button band, so it looks like so that it looks a little more spring appropriate. I want to add tiny leaves and flowers. Very, very simple embroidery, so I'm hoping to get that done as well. I want to try and do it as soon as I finish the sweater, so I do not sit on it and then change my mind. This person has asked me to make it, but her birthday is coming, is around the corner, and I want to make sure that the embroidery at least is a gift from me to her, while the sweater is something she has asked for. So that is, the cardigan is something she has asked for, so that is the Felix cardigan. This one is the eye blink, and I haven't made much progress. This is the eye blink shawl. I haven't made much progress, and so I'm not going to talk much about it. I'm just gonna leave it there. Again, that was supposed to be a travel knit, but I haven't really traveled much in the last 3 weeks. Work has just been busy, so I haven't really touched that or taken it with me anywhere. That is going to be slow progress anyways. I do not need it anytime soon, and it's a gift knit, and I'm going to take it slow. Well, since I finished this, and I had said in the last episode again that I want to finish this before I cast on something, I cast on the sibling sweater, and this is for a child. So this is what it's looking like right now. I'm again using the same yarn that I used for my hepatica sweater. So I have the Knit Picks Twill. This is actually fingering weight yarn, but I have caked it together in 2 strands. I've held 2 strands together and caked it together just to make it simpler. And I'm using all the leftover minis. So this is what, these are what I have left over after I finish my hepatica sweater. Now this is for a 12-year-old kid, so this is the size I'm making, and I am so impressed with the shoulder detail. I love it. So this is the back panel. I just started it. I'm sorry about all the noise. I've started it. This was an evening's work, and then I haven't gone back to it, but I intend to do so very soon. This I need only in December, but the person I'm giving this to has 2 other siblings, and so I want to make sure that all of them get something at the same time, and so all of them would be getting a sibling sweater each, just with different color palettes. So this I've started with green. So this has a lot of browns and just darker greens and even lighter greens, but all of this is going to be in green. And the second sibling sweater I'm gonna make for one of her siblings is going to be in reds and browns, and the last one is going to be in oranges and yellows. And so I hope I get it done on time. This again, like I said, I need it only by December, but I hope to get this done on time. All of them are sitting in my Surala box. It's just simpler to carry it around the house when I need, and I don't intend to take it and put it into any other project box as of now. I do have one plan, and I am kind of excited about this. Again, the last episode I was talking about the Argyle top. I've been itching to cast this on, but then I cast on the sibling sweater. Now I want to work on the Felix cardigan, and once I part for sleeves, once I split it for sleeves and I know I can't carry it around as much as I would like to, then I would cast this on. This is from Quince & Co. And this is the colorway Port. Yes, this is the colorway Port. This is 100% linen, and this is the second colorway. This is this colorway Sparrow. This is also 100% linen. Now if you look at the pattern, it's stripes. I think this is my year of stripes. I did the hepatica, I'm doing the sibling sweaters 3, and I'm doing the Argyle. You would also see a lot of the spring and summer patterns that I'm looking at have been stripes. I do not know why. So I want to alternate these two. I want to alternate these two, and then have this as the contrast color. So if you look at the pattern, it actually has just 2 colors. I'm gonna make it 3. So these 2 would be the big borders, the big bands of color, and this is going to be the tiny one. I'm gonna see if I can pull up a chart of what I've made to see if these colors would go well together, and I'll see if I can put that in here. So this is going to be my argyle top. The argyle top is also made on smaller needles, so it's gonna take a while. It's 100% linen. The contrast color is from Rhobin. Oh, it's Rhobin soft something. I'll put a picture of it over here. So it's Rhobin, and it's got bamboo and tencel, so I know it's going to go well with the linen at least, and it's going to be a very, very cool garment, and it's on small needles, so I'm hoping I get started now, work on it slowly with no pressure, and then I'll be able to finish it in time to wear it for summer. So I'm hoping I'd finish it by the end of May, and then I can start wearing it by June. Over here in Toronto, at least for me, because cold is relative to how everybody feels. For me, I feel May is still really cold, and it starts to get warmer only by June, mid-June in fact, and until then I usually carry around a jacket, a shawl, a shrug, something extra to keep me warm, because I feel outside it's cold or warm. You go into a subway, or you when you're taking the TTC, you get into a bus and it gets really cold or warm again, and then you're back again into someone's house, and the temperature varies, and I just like to have layers to make sure I'm comfortable, and I tend to do that at least until mid-June. So I know I wouldn't really wear this until after, so I want to take it slow. It's on small needles. I don't want to stress my hands, so I just want to enjoy the process. So that is all I have about the knitting. I do hope I did not drop the embroidery plan on the Felix cardigan like I did for the Un sweater. I'm glad I did drop it for the Un sweater, because if there were buttons and the embroidery, it would have clashed too much, and I wouldn't have liked it as much. But for the Felix cardigan, there are a few things I have in mind. So stay tuned. I will keep you updated whenever I'm recording the next episode. Hopefully I'll be done with the Felix cardigan. We can talk more about it. But otherwise, let me know, what are you working on? What are the projects you are enjoying as of now, and are there projects that you've been thinking about making modifications for? And if you are, how comfortable are you, and what are the modifications? Because I do wish I could go back to this particular one and make a few modifications just to make it fit a little better, at least in the arms. So let me know what you're working on, and if there's any modifications you're thinking about. With that, I'll say bye, and until next time, stay safe, and I hope you enjoy your craft. Thank you for watching.